So today we're doing a really good Thanksgiving recipe, and if you have family coming in from out of town or if you're just in the pre-Thanksgiving mood, this is a really good one. I'm actually doing it from a magazine I really like called Forks Over Knives, and it's a completely plant-based vegan magazine, and I love it. They have a lot of really good recipes, and I'm not really one to try recipes out of magazines, but this one just looked too good. So we're making this, which is a pumpkin Alfredo casserole, and we're going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to do my own little twist on it, but for the most part we're going to follow the recipe. But it's got creamy pumpkin and cauliflower and Yukon Gold potatoes kind of pureed to make a creamy sauce. It's got sage for a really good Thanksgiving flavor. It should be pretty awesome. So we're going to meal prep this creamy vegan pumpkin casserole, which uses spaghetti noodles, so it's a pasta dish. It's a little bit of an evil treat, but you know, it's the holidays, so your family will dig this. If you have out-of-town guests, you could make this today or tomorrow or whenever this week, and you could have it over the weekend or early next week while your family's in town, and keep a big crowd fed on the cheap and with little effort. So we're going to do this today. So let's see, we need to get our cauliflower prepped. So we need 2 cups of cauliflower florets, which I'm not sure if my cauliflower is still good. I have some from last week, and I'm going to look, but it might be bad, so I bought new just in case. And you can really easily tell if cauliflower has gone south, because it's either got black on top, or it smells like a foot. And yes, I said it smells like a foot. Need some leeks. Aren't those pretty? Okay. So this is the oldest cauliflower. Let's check it first. Smells like a foot. Ew. I actually bought that. It was a bag of like pre-chopped cauliflower to make my life easier. And we ended up using it for like a side dish one night, like a mixed veg, you know, broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots or something like that. And it was really good, but I don't eat a lot of like steamed veggies so much, so it just kind of sat around. I eat a lot of riced cauliflower, probably more than anything else. I eat a ton of cauliflower, but it's usually in riced form. This actually still smells okay. Maybe we'll use half of this, and if we need any more, we'll bust into the new one. There's maybe some bits we need to cut off of this, but that's okay. Manly, what you doing? What are you doing? Like my new tree? I got a rosemary tree. It smells amazing, and you know, it's pretty, and I can cook off of it. Come here. Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? He's like running laps through the kitchen. Thought I'd stop him. Get a little nanny time. Nanny time. He's got his little stool next to me. Now I'm all furry. Where's my apron? Didn't I talk about this, that I needed one? Normally, if I'm not doing anything splattery, I won't wear an apron, but I just feel like it's better to have one. Especially when I'm cooking live, because I tend to make a bigger mess. It just happens. Alright. Cauliflower! So you want to get off all the green bits here. The leafy bits. And we need 2 cups of this, so we'll see if this is enough. It may or may not be. I have a hard time gauging it until we actually cut it off into florets because, you know, on here it can look quite a bit different. We're going to brute force strength this thing out. Ow. So we're just getting the root out. You could cut this out too, but I'm just ripping it out. Probably be easier if I cut it, to be honest. Oh well, too late now. So this cauliflower is bad. You can see this piece because it's got some discoloration. We don't want to eat that one. And you want to look at the tops of the cauliflowers as well. And if there's any, pinkish or red tinge, we probably don't want to use it. So I'm kind of examining this one, and I don't think I actually want to use it. There's actually quite a bit. So we're going to toss this one and start a new one. I could get picky and go through the whole thing, but I just don't feel like it. So call me terrible because I'm wasting some semi-usable cauliflower, but I don't want to deal with it today. So let's get the new head. Cauliflower makes such a mess. This is why I like buying frozen riced cauliflower, and probably why I eat it more than fresh cauliflower. It's just because riced cauliflower that's frozen, it's just as fresh and just as nutritious, but you don't have to deal with all the mess. The mess is insane. Alright. New cauliflower. My sinuses are bugging me. I need to sneeze. Sorry. It's gonna happen. I can tell. It's coming. So we're basically going to be making like a puree of things to make like a creamy sauce without any dairy. So we will be using some plant-based milk for this, but that's about it as far as like weird vegan products. So you can make this, and if you didn't have plant-based milk, or were like, oh shoot, I have everything but that, you could substitute it for your regular milk, and obviously it wouldn't be vegan at that point, but it's still a pretty good dish. Oh. Oh my goodness. I think I just had cauliflower pelt me in the eye like, I don't even know. But it hurt. I got water and stuff like all over my face. That's happening today. The cauliflower plant is an evil son of a bitch. Get off my stuff. Alright. There's a lot of greenery we're going to be cutting off of this thing. It's just kind of a part of dealing with cauliflower. This is a really pretty head of cauliflower though. It's like a little one. It's so weird. At my Whole Foods, you'd think cauliflower would be in the vegetable department. Guess where the cauliflower is in my store? It's in the meat department. True story. For some reason, they feel like putting the cauliflower back with the meat case. It's like in the back there's cauliflower, asparagus, and squashes of various sorts, like acorn and butternuts and stuff, back next to the meat. Not in the produce section. It's super weird. And I think in the summer, it made sense because they were like trying to encourage people to do grilling and so forth. But at this time of year, it's like, what? Why am I going back there for cauliflower? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so this is our garbage bowl. We're going to move this over here. And this one is what we're going to be working with. Show me what you're working with. All right. So we're just kind of going here and hold the cauliflower pretty steady. You don't want it rolling around on you when you're cutting with a knife, but you can kind of see that the cauliflower has the stems here, and you can kind of start breaking it out from this big stem, so you don't have to yank it out like you did the last one. This is probably the easiest way to go about it. It's just kind of get in on one side and start chunking it out. But make sure you got a good hold on the cauliflower and the knife is pointed away from your hands so that you don't, take out your fingers. Because that's pretty key. Otherwise, you're not going to be making a very good pasta if you have no fingers. It'd be really difficult. Just saying. Sorry, my phone just is freaking out. We get it, phone. Chill. That's the big stem. That's what we were ripping out of the other one. So this looks about right. So we want 2 cups or so. I'm not so keen on accuracy as far as measurements go, so this is what we have. This is what we're going to use. It's about 1.5 cups, 2 cups. So we are going to actually simmer. Let's read ahead here. Recipe 101. Always read through the recipe before you start cooking from start to finish, or you might have a bad day and come mid-recipe like you were supposed to make something in advance and you didn't know. So I've already read through this once, but we're going to read through this step to make sure we know what's happening. So we're going to combine cauliflower, potatoes, onions, garlic broth, Bring to boiling, reduce heat, simmer. I'm skipping over some things because it's not relevant at the moment. I'll talk about it later. Simmer covered, cool slightly, transfer, blender. Okay, so we're gonna puree this so we don't need to cut it into anything special. It can just stay like it is because it's just gonna get pureed up anyway. So really you just need the cauliflower florets, and then you can load it into a bowl and set it aside for now because we're gonna start prepping the next thing. Okay, just get all the little bits because it's all gonna get pureed anyway, so you might as well put it all in here, right? Actually, we could put this right in our pot. We don't need a bowl. So let's put it in the pot. Make life easier. Okay. Cauliflower, check. Potatoes, onion. Okay, onions next. So we need a half a cup of onion, and I decided I'm gonna use leek instead of onion. This is a form of a leek, or an onion, it's just a different type. It has a milder flavor, and it has, you know, green on it in addition to the white, so it's a little different. But I think it's got a really pleasant taste. So we decided to try this. Daniel wanted to have a leek this week, so here we are. So we're gonna rinse it out here. Leeks can have a lot of sand in them, so you want to be sure to rinse them good. I forgot to turn off my desktop sound, so if you're getting echoes about that, I'm sorry. Thank you for that host, Biggs. Thank you for the host, Cupid. How you guys doing? Good morning. Okay, so we're going to cut off the weird end of the leek with all the little things on it, and we're going to slice this. We only need half a cup. I kind of want some of the green bits too, so I'm going to move up the stock a bit, because we don't need to just use this whole thing. Alright, so that's our leek, and that's going to go, aren't they pretty? They're like little ribbons. Little pretty ribbons. So that's going to go in the pot. And we can save the rest of the leek we have for something else. And this one's still whole, so it can just go back in here. The other one's kind of broken up. So I might actually, I could wrap this either in plastic or I could just stick it in here carefully. And I'm just gonna stick it in carefully. Hope for the best that it stays together. If it doesn't, you know, it's just gonna be harder to cut, but no big deal. Thanks for the host patch. How's everybody doing today? Alright, back in the fridge. That goes. What is this? I just took out the garbage, and this other garbage is already full. Ridiculous. Come here, cute buddy. Hang on. We don't even use garbage bags. We just use paper, so we like recycle it that way. Seems better for things, I guess. Okay, next thing is potatoes. Potato. We need 8 ounces of Yukon Golds, which are amazing potatoes. They're, Yukon Golds are like a really creamy, buttery potato. That's what Yukon Golds are. And they kind of are like a russet, but they don't break down quite as much if you cook them or boil them, which makes them kind of nice for certain things. Like a stew, for instance, they're better in like a stew than a russet would be. But they kind of have a waxy exterior, but they're really good. So we need 8 ounces. That one's big. That's 12. What's the other one I have? Doctors suck, but it's good. Oh, I'm sorry. Doctor appointment today? Those are the exact same size. Okay, we have a little too much potato. Mammy, what are you doing? So we're gonna do like 10 ounces. So we're gonna rinse these real quick. on for vegetables that I'm working with because that's where a lot of the nutrition is. I don't know if this recipe wants it off or not. Cut into, okay, so yeah, we're not going to peel them. But I recommend not peeling anything unless you absolutely have to, because that's where all your nutrition is going to be. Hope you're feeling okay, Patch. I still can't get over the upgrade from your old kitchen to your new one. Aw, thanks for the bits too. I know, isn't it lovely? The problem is though, like I was saying, why can't it clean itself? I keep it really clean because I hate messes, but when it's this big, there's a lot to clean. I was cleaning it during your stream today. So it's all nice and ready for me to make a big fat mess in. Yeah, this is a huge upgrade. I love this new kitchen. So nice. Okay, we're gonna cut these into chunks because these are just gonna go in the pot and they're gonna boil alongside everything else. So they don't need to be anything specific, but I think we want like a 1/4 inch chunks. Where is this? 1/2 inch pieces. Well, we're gonna do that size. So it's like about 1/2 inch. And it's gonna go right in. And I have a little too many potatoes, so we're gonna not use that chunk because that would be too many ounces. What'd you get for lunch, Rukio? What are you having? Yeah, if you haven't tried Yukon Golds though, they really are quite nice. They have a really good mouthfeel too. They do have a higher glycemic index, similar to a russet, so I wouldn't recommend, eating these all the time. I don't eat a whole lot of potatoes, but if you're gonna do potatoes, sweet potatoes is probably your best bet, but once in a while, a russet is got its medium, and this is one of them where you want it creamy. So we're gonna cream that up, and it's gonna be pretty good. But this is a very nutrient-dense dish, so it'll be really filling. So you're probably gonna be serving like a 1/2 cup of this dish to somebody as a meal, whereas like a pasta, if you didn't put a bunch of this nutrition in and all this veg, you'd probably be eating more like a cup of pasta, but a 1/2 cup's probably going to be plenty, and especially if you had like a big green salad alongside of it, which I would recommend. Never had sweet potatoes before? What? Rukio, you have weekend homework or weekday homework. Go to the store, get a sweet potato, preferably like a red garnet sweet potato. They have orange skin and an orange inside. And bake it like a baked potato in the oven. And then come back and talk to me, because hells yeah, that's some good eats. Sweet potato is a good one, especially, when you're trying to stay fit. A sweet potato is a good potato to eat. It's not like a white potato. It doesn't have as much of the junk. It's pretty good. Makes a mean baked potato too. Or if you roast them, you eat eggs, so you could roast them in the oven with a bunch of rosemary and top it with like a fried egg or whatever, however you cook an egg, a poached egg, and that would be really good too. That'd be an awesome breakfast. All right, what's next? Garlic. So we need, I hate reading recipes, 2 cloves garlic. In case that wasn't clear, I'm not a recipe doer. I like to make my own recipes and experiment in the kitchen. So following a recipe for me is really difficult, just because it's a pain. This looks bad, doesn't it? It's like black inside. Ew. Ew. We're not gonna eat that. Yes, boss, yes. How do you not have a sweet potato? I'm shocked. I do like a vegetable stew a lot in the winter, and I occasionally will add like a green bean, cauliflower, that sort of thing. And I'll occasionally add a sweet potato in it, like a regular white one, and it's so good. Yeah, you're missing out. I'm not talking like, don't go get like sweet potato casserole like you see at Thanksgiving where they put the marshmallows on top, because that's god awful and it's so sweet. But it's like a weird dessert, I think. But if you actually like cook with them and make savory dishes, a sweet potato is really delicious. Sweet potato pairs really well with rosemary and dill and thyme, and it goes awesome with garlic. Anything with garlic, sweet potato and garlic are friends. They're super best friends. BFFs. Forever. Okay, 2 cloves garlic in pot. And then we need broth. So we need 1 1/4 cups of water. If you were using stock, like pre-made stock, you could do that. I'm doing a vegetable bouillon mixed with water. So we're going to use some of that. Bailey, you're back? Alright. So we have 1 1/4 cups of water. And you could either mix this right in, or you could put it in the water first and then stir it around so it kind of incorporates and then put it in. I think I'm going to do that. So we're going to do a teaspoon of bouillon to a cup of water. Typically I only do a teaspoon of bouillon in anything I make if it requires something like this, because there's a lot of sodium in stocks and bouillons. And so I try to not eat a lot of sodium. I only consume about 150 to 200 milligrams a day, which is extremely low. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you're accustomed to it or have a reason. And you want to shoot for about 500 milligrams of sodium per meal. But for me, I do much less. So I try to only do about a teaspoon because it really doesn't need much more than that anyway, to be honest. Like, sometimes if you put too much in, then your whole dish tastes like salt. I'm not a fan when that happens. So you can see it's pretty sticky, like it's not really coming off, despite my attempts with a spatula. Come out. Alright. So you're supposed to do, according to the directions, 1 teaspoon to 1 8-ounce can of water. But like if I'm making a huge soup with like 6 cups of water, I'll maybe do 1.5 teaspoons. So imagine if you did 8 teaspoons, because I think there's like 680 milligrams of sodium in a teaspoon of bouillon, which is insane. That's a lot. That's an awful lot. If you guys aren't part of Team Power Up yet, check us out. There's the link. We got some Power Up members in here today. If you're not checking out these people, do yourself a favor. Power up, yeah. Okay, so this is gonna go in. Try to get all this little bits off, and see, it didn't even help. I should have just put it in the pot, because it didn't incorporate at all. Lesson learned. Alright. So that's everything in there, I believe. Let's double check. Sorry, I'm sniffing. Sorry. We're gonna bring it to a boil. I also need to get my water going, which I forgot to do, for my pasta. So take a big pot, fill it with cold water, no salt, no oil needed, just water. How was everybody's weekend? I think some of you get a long weekend today since it is Veterans Day, National Bank Holiday. Sadly, Daniel didn't get the day off. We were hoping he'd get a 3-day, but he didn't. He actually ended up working most weekend too. He had a deadline coming up, so he worked. I played COD. Played a lot of COD actually. Which COD screwed me. I'll tell you about this as soon as this fills up. Started. I'm bound to make a mess in here. I know it's gonna happen. Spraying the cat with water. Alright, high heat, everything's high. Just finished cooking my chicken fajitas. Ooh, I am making a mess. I tend to do that. I have this this really insane carpet in here that if drop something on it, it's like a black hole. You can't see it, which is kind of nice for me because I make such a mess, so I just have to vacuum it regularly to make sure there's not food all over it, or the cats will eat it, you know. I need a dog. I need a dog garbage disposal so he can just come in here and eat all the crap I drop on the floor. You have carpet in the kitchen? Okay, I'll show you. Hang on. We're gonna move the camera. Apologies. I have this. Can you see it? It's like a area rug. So it helps my back having a rug in the kitchen, because then I'm not standing on the hardwood. It's all crooked. Standing on the hardwood all the time, so it helps. Yeah, a rug. Isn't a rug a carpet? I mean, that's the same thing, right? I think it's the same. Anyway, it's like a black hole. Oh, so the cod thing. I thought I had my assault rifles gold this weekend. I finished the Maddox and the Vapor, and I finished the Vapor last night, and I was like, yeah, I got diamond guns, and it was like, no you don't, and I was like, what the hell? And so I went through and looked through all my guns, and you know how some people have been having glitches? My RAM part, somewhere along the line, glitched out and reversed my progress, and I have to do my bloodthirsties again and 50 kills without attachments. Not very happy. So today, this afternoon, when we play, we'll be working on that damn gun, unless we're playing Blackout, of course. I've been actually really enjoying Blackout. It's been fun. Okay, next step. We're going to wait till this comes to a boil, which it is, and then we're going to cover and simmer for 25 minutes. Alright. We need to get the bouillon down into the water so it gets wet. Okay. We'll see if this simmers for 25 minutes. I don't know. This burner heats so damn hot. We're gonna try. I mean, this burner still confuses me. They didn't give us an instruction manual with our stove. So like my settings are high, medium, L, which I would assume is low, but then if you go to the other side of low, which you would think is like almost off, it says melt. Is it low? Is it super high? I don't know. So yeah, I'll probably not be simmering. It probably won't happen. The GG cod things. I know, cod's so ridiculous. They need to fix some of that stuff, but it doesn't stop me. I'll get that. I'll get my diamond guns. All right, so that's gonna go for 25 minutes. We're probably gonna check on that sooner, just to make sure it's not boiling like a crazy thing that it shouldn't be. So while that's happening, we need to cook linguine and we need to cut our other vegetables. So we need asparagus and carrots. Asparagus. So we have glorious asparagus. Oh, I gotta show you these carrots. They're ridiculous. Hang on. So I don't know what's up with the store lately, but either the carrots are monsters, or I'm getting like, I don't know, what's that thing kids do? Carrot claws? But they're so tiny. So I went and got carrots and I was like, they're so small. I had to buy like 12 of them just to make enough for like normal 3 carrots. So weird. You melt chocolate at really low heat so you don't burn it. Oh, that's probably what it is, huh? Okay. I have another one of my other burners. It has high, medium, L, and then ultra. I what that means. I can't get anything to simmer though, I'll be honest. I can't get a damn thing to simmer on the stovetop. Since we moved, I burnt so many batches of rice, it's stupid. I just can't get anything to stay at a simmer. It always stays too hot. Like this is probably gonna be out of liquid in no time. Oh no, we're actually simmering right now. Oh, miracle. Okay, so we need carrots. 1 cup of carrots. We're gonna wash these really well. They're really dirty. Ew. Edward scissor hands. Edward carrot hands. I doubt I'd be able to cut shrubbery as well though with carrots. Ultra to me says super hot. It does to me too, but why is it on the low side? Because there's like off, and then high, medium, low, ultra, and then we're back at off. So if it was ultra it would be hot, you'd think it would be on the hot side of the off button, not the low side. That's where I get a little confused. That's where my mind goes, huh? I don't know. It's a mysterious thing. How are we cutting these things? Carrots. Sliced. All right, that's easy. When you get to the end of the carrot, be a little more careful because it can get away from you. So unless you're like Master Chef, don't go nuts. Don't be brave. The carrot will win. At least in my experience, the carrot usually wins. Maybe you can find them, make the model of your stove and Google it for a manual. All I know is it's a KitchenAid. And it doesn't say anything else on it. It says KitchenAid. I think I'd have to like look to see if other ones have the similar features, but yeah, all our appliances are KitchenAid. But I know they're like one of the, they're a certain kind because they all have red, like on all the handles. Ends, they're red. Oh, it says something on the end. Well, that's probably when it was established. KitchenAid 1919. I was gonna say, maybe the model's there, but it's not. That's a good idea though, I should do that. I wish they would have just included a manual. It's weird, they included a manual for other things in the apartment, but not the stove. It's weird. So I'm cutting some of the bigger carrots into halves because I don't want huge pieces of carrots and then like this size. Because those aren't gonna cook the same. So it doesn't have to be perfect because this is kind of like a rustic-y dish, but you kind of want to cut, oops, where'd that go? Cut things up so they're, you know, more like mouth-wise the right size, because that's kind of big to stick in your mouth, but that is a little more manageable. Then you're not eating a mouthful of carrot. You can actually get some other things in your mouth too without taking like a bite that, you know, everybody at the table is thinking like, whoa, have you eaten today? Or I guess you could pick out. I mean, it is Thanksgiving. Family knows you like to eat. Go for it. Pick out. Screw it, just keep using it and learn by trial and error. That's what I've been doing. So that's about a cup, so I don't think we're gonna need the other carrots. So just one. But now we're all washed and ready to go next time we need a carrot. I do really love the appliances in this place though. They're nice. Way better than the last place. The last place we had European style appliances, so they were micro everything. So like our oven, you couldn't fit like a normal sized baking sheet in the oven. It was too small, or the oven was too small. Silly. And the fridge was like half of what we have now. It was ridiculous. And for me being plant-based, like the fridge is what I need. Not a pantry, I need a fridge, because my fridge is stocked. So, fresh stuff. Just, oh, so bad. So better now. So much better. Okay. Whoa, what? What? Come here. Come up here. Come on. Yeah. 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 What are you doing? Now I want fajitas. I'm actually going to make burritos tomorrow probably. I'm going to do more meal prep. I'm doing, I didn't want to do it all today. I'm not in the mood. But I thought I'd do half today and half tomorrow. So I'm going to make sweet potato and black bean burritos and brown rice. Should be good. Okay, asparagus cut into 1-inch pieces. So here's the trick with asparagus. So there's the rooty end, which is kind of, you know, thick and tough. And there's the delicate end, which has like the little floret bits on it. So to know what part you want to eat and what part you don't, this is the trick. Because you don't want to eat really this end so much because it's not as good and it gets a little more bitter and stocky at the end. So you take an asparagus, holding at each end, and wherever it snaps, which piece just went sailing into the other side of the kitchen, we're going to cut about a 1/2 inch down below that. So that broke there, so we're going to cut about here. And all this you can toss, or if you want, you can also cut it into really thin slices to make like little rounds, and that's really good in like an omelet. So you can slice up tiny little rounds, toss it in your omelet, or scramble, and it's pretty bomb. But when you're just steaming it or something and you have big pieces, you want to just have this top half. Manly needs attention. Manly always needs attention. He's a whiner, especially lately. He's been a real whiner, which, you know, he gets a little pass with his whining because he can't see very well, so we give him a break and let him whine, but lately he's been a little shit. Haven't ya? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so 1-inch pieces. So it should give me 3 cuts here. And the one weird one from what I broke off. So this I think goes in all together. So we're just gonna put it in the pot or the bowl here. Asparagus, if anyone's ever eaten it, and it's one of those weird vegetables. Your body digests it kind of strangely, and so that's why after you've eaten a bunch of asparagus, your pee turns greenish, and it smells like asparagus. That's normal, not to be alarmed. It's just a thing with asparagus. And I looked into this a while back, like why that's a thing, but I can't seem to recall the details. Otherwise I would share them with you. But I think it has to do with the high content of folate, which is also present in like spinach and leafy greens. I think it has to do with that. First nights I went over to my dad's second wife's house for dinner, which is now his ex-wife. She was really weird. She's a very nice gal, but a little different. And that I came over for dinner and she made something like grilled something or other with asparagus. I don't know what it was, but like one of the first few things she said to me at the dinner table were, "Don't you just love how asparagus makes your pee smell like asparagus?" And I was just like, what? That's like the most random shit to say to someone that you're just meeting. I thought that was so bizarre. I was like, yeah, it's a little weird. What do you say to that? I don't know. Okay, what do we got going next? So, meanwhile, we need our white beans, our pumpkin, our sage, our plant milk, nutritional yeast, garlic powder. Okay, so we need white beans, drained and rinsed. She knows how to strike up a conversation. That's what I thought too. I was like, that's such a random thing. I think she was just so pressed to try to figure out something to talk to me about. So, you know, weird meeting your boyfriend's daughter, I guess, for the first time, but yeah, that really stuck in my brain. All right, so we need 15 ounces, which really chapped my ass at the store yesterday because I need 15 ounces in these boxes. If you want no salt added, they only come in this size versus the big ones that have salt. So these are 13.4 ounces. Sorry, it's upside down. So I have to open 2 of these for 2 ounces. Arr. I don't know. You think 2 ounces is worth the trouble? Let's see how much 2 ounces is. Let's weigh something else and see what 2 ounces is. Maybe this potato. Because if it's really nominal, we'll just roll without it. Because I don't want to have a whole can of white beans. So that's 1.5, or 1.1, not 1.5. 1.5, 6. Oh, that's too much. Okay, so that's what 2 ounces of beans look like if I don't use them. What do you think? You think I could skip it? I think I might skip it. That doesn't seem like too much, although, I don't know. When you put it in relation to the container, that's like half the container. Oh, jeez. I'll let you guys decide. Should I add it or skip it? I don't know. This is why I hate recipes. This is why I hate them. Beans in a cardboard are so funky. So to do this, you flip up the sides. Lots of people don't understand. You flip up the sides, and you flip up the top. So now it kind of looks like a milk jug. See? And then you pull and push the sides, so like flattens into this shape. And then take your scissors and you carefully cut the top because the juice will go everywhere. It probably will anyway. Oh no, I made it successfully. And then you have it open. Ta-da! Sadly, probably add to have a full balanced flavor for the whole dish. Yeah, I figured. Now I'm gonna have to find something else to do with white beans this week. I don't know what it's gonna be, because if I'm making burritos, white beans don't really go. I suppose I could puree them into like a sauce and make like a cheese sauce with nutritional yeast and such. And maybe make like a mock queso. Add a bunch of jalapeno, make it kind of hot. That'd be kind of good. Maybe I'll do that. Not today, but maybe. Alright, we've got both our cans of beans. Cans. So let me drain all of these. We're just going to get a mesh strainer. And a bowl. And a lot of these will stick inside, so you just kind of got to rinse it to get them out. And you want to rinse them until this foam goes away. That's something that comes off of the exterior coating of the bean, and we just want to rinse them until that's gone. So fun fact, did you know that the liquid that you strain out of garbanzo beans is actually called aquafaba? And aquafaba, that liquid, can be used in a million different things to thicken, add more nutrition, be a rising agent. It's like this really weird stuff, aquafaba. But you can make like, what are those called? There's these like little puffy things made out of normally egg whites. I'm drawing a blank as to what they are. But you can make something out of those. Oh, what are they called? I can't think of it. Not Madeline's, that's a cookie. Shoot, I can't remember. That pot is steaming pretty good. It is, yeah. This is my ultra burner. Ultra hot. It's got 3 burners, so you can like pick which size you want. I'm gonna have it on the massive one so it heats up fast because a thing of water takes forever. Takes forever. I should just leave my scale out today because I keep needing it. All right. We're going to weigh out our beans. So to do this, we're going to put a scale out and then zero it out by turning it on. Sometimes it's stubborn. On. My scale's all dusty. And then we're going to zero it out. So tare the scale. And we're going to measure out 15 ounces. We'll see how much I didn't need. Oh, look at that. I think, yeah, I think that thing was counting the liquid. That's 15 ounces of beans, so we don't have any extra. It's all good. It's all good. Math, science. Now my water's boiling. Now it's ready to rumble. All right, we're gonna get the pasta cooked. All right. So, this is just plain old organic spaghetti. I prefer whole wheat spaghetti if I'm gonna do pasta, or I like to do red lentil spaghetti that's made out of lentils instead of white flour, because I try not to eat processed or white flour as much as possible. But I tried making a spaghetti recently. I tried to trick Daniel. I made a spaghetti with whole wheat pasta because I know he doesn't like it, but I didn't tell him that I put whole wheat pasta in, and I wanted to see if he noticed or not. And he hated it. He was like, something's weird about this. I don't know what it is because I made it before. And he's like, it tastes different and I don't like it. I was like, it's whole wheat pasta. And he's like, that's what it is. The noodles taste weird. So, for Daniel's sake, I'm making it with regular spaghetti. Because he doesn't like it. If I was making this for just me, I'd do whole wheat. So boil for 11 to 12 minutes. We're going to go on the low end because this is a casserole, so we're going to bake it later. So you don't want it totally done. You want it al dente on the slightly lower end, which means like it's got like a tooth feel to it still. And we're doing that because when it reheats in the oven and we actually bake the casserole, it'll cook a little longer. So you don't want gummy, overcooked, nasty pasta. So this is kind of a required thing to prevent that. So you're going to cook it till it's almost done. So we're going to go 11 minutes. So my timer just went off for the other thing. That's going to boil like crazy. Do your thing. Let's get this out. See where we're at on our mix here. Okay. Whoa, that's hot. Whoa, that smells really good. So these should be soft. The cauliflower is definitely done. The onions are done. The potatoes aren't quite there. So we're going to put it back on the heat for just a little bit. Maybe like 5 minutes. I think we're going to go 5 minutes. It said 20 to 25 and it's been on 20, so we'll let it go another 20, or another 5, another 20. That'd be terrible. Don't let it go another 20. 5 minutes. Aren't these awesome? These oven mitts, they look destroyed and gross, but these are so cool. These are actually made out of the same material they make firefighters' uniforms with, to be flame retardant and all fancy like that. These are like the most industrial strength oven mitts you can buy. We seeked these out because I burn myself all the time. And these are amazing. They're Tucker Burn Guard, Vapor Guard oven mitts. So if you burn yourself a lot, screw potholders, get yourself some of those firefighter gloves. They're amazing. nutritional yeast. So we're going to be using nutritional yeast flakes. These are fortified with B vitamins and other vitamins, but this is how we're going to get our vitamin B12. You can use nutritional yeast anywhere you use Parmesan. So it tastes a lot like Parmesan cheese. That's what it looks like. It's kind of yellowy and flaky. You can get it in flakes, powder, or shredded, I think. Flakes, powder. There's 3 ways you can get it. I know flakes and powder. I think it's shredded is the other one. Thank you for that host, Billion. Vapor Guard. Yes! I love that thing. They're amazing. They're the best oven mitts I've ever had. I've had them for like 7 or 8 years, I want to say. They're amazing. I never have needed to buy a new pair of oven mitts. And I was going through them really quick before. Alright, so we need to get our food processor out, I think. And we need our milk. So I'm going to be using coconut milk, which goes really well with the pumpkin and the sage, but you could also use another plant-based milk if you wanted to. You could use hemp, oat, almond. Almond would probably be good too, but that would kill me, so we're going to not do that. Or you could use soy, but I really recommend you don't drink soy milk. Those of you that know, I am very anti-soy milk, as soy has a whole lot of extra hormones in it that you do not need, and it is what a lot of people say, and I believe is responsible for a whole number of problems, especially in the male population, including male pattern baldness, early balding, early hair loss, man boobs. There's a bunch of things, and also has a lot to do with the reproductive system as well. So if you're trying to have children, probably lay off the soy milk. So anyway, don't drink the soy. A cup of soy milk is like equivalent to having a birth control pill. So try that on for size. Don't do it. There are other alternatives. How much do we need? Half a cup. Half a cup to 3/4 cup. Stir our pasta so it's not sticking together. You don't want to have a big clump of noodles like stuck in a tube. This is my favorite brand. This is so delicious, and I go for the organic original flavor so it doesn't taste like vanilla or anything like that, because you don't really want to cook with something like that. But it looks just like milk, no? Daniel thinks it's pretty good. It's Daniel approved. I had soy once, and nope, it was ewy. It's so gross. Don't do the soy. Soy sauce is okay, but I try not to eat, like, as a vegan, I don't eat any tofu, and I don't do soy products. So, like, a lot of processed vegan products are made with soy proteins, and so if you think about it, like, you're having butter, it's got soy in it, butter, like non-dairy. So these are all non-dairy things. So soy protein butter, soy protein cheese, soy protein meat look-alike, soy milk. I mean, it's just, if you think about how much soy an average vegan that's doing that is consuming, it's just like, makes my skin crawl a little bit. So, and tofu, which is made with soy, or if you're having desserts, like a lot of chocolate desserts for a vegan are made with tofu. So you really kind of got to look into that thing if you're interested or eating a lot of soy right now and you might want to stop. I'd research it a bit, but I definitely try to limit my soy consumption. I do plant-based, so I don't do a lot of processed foods. So I don't really have this problem, and I really regulate my soy, like my butter is soy-free, my mayonnaise is soy-free. So you can find soy-free alternatives to the same things. There's even soy-free cheese alternatives. All right, let's check this again. Give it a little pokey poke. All right, we're good. Hot. Whoa, too hot. Isn't this thing cool? It's magnetic, but you can make it smaller, or you can make it bigger. Are you quite finished, lid? But then you can stick stuff to it, and it sticks. So it's like a portable thing. You don't have to worry about it, going away from your pot, or if you accidentally move it onto the thing you shouldn't move it onto. No big deal. I think it's pretty groovy. Alright, we don't need this anymore for now. I thought soy milk is a glass of milk introducing itself in Spanish. Like you thought it was just a different word for milk? And you thought it was a Spanish word? Or I'm confused. Alright, so we're gonna let that chill for just a second. We're gonna get our food processor out, but if you don't have a food processor, you could use a blender. And as some of you know, my food processor is a beast. It's heavy. So, gotta get the extension cable out. Alright, I gotta go over there for a minute. We got 2.5 minutes left on that. And the food processor. Okay, we're gonna make some room. We're gonna plug this in. So many cables. Alright. Well, quote, soy is a form of introduction in the Spanish world. Truth. That's an old joke I use every time I see soy milk. It's not like, yo soy, blah blah blah. I took 6 years of Spanish, and I still don't know Spanish. I think I knew it at the time when I was in high school, but that was a long ass time ago, so I forgot a lot of it. And there's not a lot of Spanish-speaking people in my neck of the woods, so I don't really need it. I think I've needed French more than Spanish, so I've learned some French just to know along the way. Like, je ne comprends pas, which means, I don't know. Or, I don't understand, roughly translated. I approve of this joke. Well, we'll just let it go over my head, because I still don't get it. I kind of get it, but I don't get it. We'll just leave it at that. Alright, we will add beans. Oh, we need pumpkin. We need the pumpkin. The pumpkin. I always joke that it's a good thing I'm tall, because this kitchen, the cabinets are so high. Like, if you want anything off that top shelf, you gotta work for it. Even I have to work for it, and I'm pretty tall. So that top shelf, man, if you were short, you'd have to have a footstool in here. Which, I've had a footstool in the kitchen before in the place we were in, because even I was too short to get to the top cabinets. And I tripped over that thing so much. We got a dark wood footstool, and our floors were dark wood, and so I couldn't see the footstool compared to the floor, so I'd be like talking and just like trip over it. It's a big safety hazard, because you really need things you can trip over in your kitchen where you're, walking around with knives and stuff. That seems like a good idea. Thank you, Getting Ghost, for the host. How are you? Jelly Ever Kitchen, Miss Fancy Kitchen. Hey, Siegel, how's it going? How you doing? Thank you for the host, Siegel, and the follow. Alright, so that's our pasta. Let's check it. Ooh. Whoa, that's hot. Perfect. So you want to get a big colander. Turn off your heat on all burners, which I didn't do. water too, because I might need it for my sauce. So we're going to just put a little bit of it in a bowl, and what that does is you can use it to thin out your sauce a little if it's too thick. So I usually just pour some in a bowl. I may not need it at all, but if I do, I have it. All right. Okay, everything's off. Pasta, it can chill. It's all good. Doing mighty fine. I'm glad to hear it, Ghost. I'm mighty fine myself. Throw it against the wall. If it sticks, it's good. Does it have to be like a specific kind of wall? Because mine are quartz. Do I just chuck it? We're good. It's done. We're not going to eat that one. Watched Inside Xbox on Saturday. How was that? Anything interesting come out of it? Okay, so this is pureed canned pumpkin. It's just 15 ounces. It's really good. Its ingredients list is minimal. Pumpkin, that's it. So if you're buying pumpkin, don't buy one that says pumpkin salt, pumpkin sugar, pumpkin oil sugar, pumpkin oil salt. Nope. If it's got soy lecithin in it, don't buy it. That's an emulsifier. It makes it smooth and creamy. Get one that just has pumpkin. This is 365 brand from Whole Foods. It's a good one and it's cheap. Okay, so in a food processor, we're going to add all of this into that. And we'll see if I can do this in one go here. Do I need these? I don't think I need these. I need a spoon though, or a spatula, or both. Okay. Well, Crackdown 3 finally got a release date, February 15th. Did it though? Did it really? Woo! This is a little messier than I thought it would be. This smells so good. Onions, cauliflower, vegetables, stock. I would have done this towards the camera so you could see, but then I wouldn't be able to because I'm not left-handed. So, all that softened goodness in there. Just like that. We're good. Gluten. Yes. Thank you for the cheer, Siegel. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope Crackdown comes out because I've been wanting to play that game forever and they just keep pushing it back. And the original Crackdown was so much fun. Like, I remember after I played that, I was thinking, ooh, can I scale the walls of these buildings? Like, is that a thing? Like, you walk around the city and you're like, I can totally climb that. That can happen. But Crackdown 2 I didn't like as much. I thought the first one was awesome. This is sage, by the way. Sage smells glorious. If you haven't sniffed any sage lately, go sniff some. It's amazing. Okay. But yeah, I really hope they have a new Crackdown because I really loved the first one. It was so fun. I tried to play it back on backwards compatibility and it feels so old, like it's not very playable. Daniel played it for a while and was like, it's fun. And I was like, it's making me want to vomit. Like the motion was just annoying me. So I'm looking forward to the new one. It looks pretty bomb. Okay, 1 cup of canned pumpkin. That's gonna be this whole thing. We're just gonna roll with it. I'm pretty sure that's about a can. Should we measure it? Should we be recipe-like so we don't fuck this up? Probably. I'll measure, even though I really don't like to. 1 cup. Yep, see, I would have put too much in. It would have been too pumpkin-y if I had done it my way. Smells like Thanksgiving right now. Don't you know? Alright, so that's about 3/4 of a can. Plus whatever was stuck to my spoon. So a little extra. A little extra never hurt. It sounds like an addict. It kind of did how I said it, huh? But really though, sage is so pretty. We used to grow sage in our backyard because I always liked to grow my own herbs. So I had a huge rosemary plant and I had sage and thyme and chives and oregano and all that stuff because it's so easy to grow and it's so rewarding. Fresh basil especially is a killer grower. It'll just grow gangbusters. So will rosemary. Sage is a little more picky because it can kind of discolor easy, and if it gets too cold it doesn't always do very well, but it sometimes does okay. Like if you have a certain variety, it'll do actually really well in snow. So it just depends, but I really like sage. Something about it, it's got like a really, it's kind of like a really earthy tone. Like it's not a bright, vibrant herb, not like, you know, a green onion or something, or parsley. It's kind of got an earthy quality and kind of more of a deep aromatic, I think, but it's really good for things. Although now that I've touched it, I'm gonna stink like sage all day. Good thing you don't really get snow here. Yeah, it's hard to grow sage when it snows. I've done it through snow, and it's hard to keep it alive. You usually have to bring it in. All right, so we need to add the beans. This is gonna be like, okay, we're gonna do it in batches because there's not room in there. So we're gonna go ahead. Take out that thing so we don't need it. This is just like a cover. We don't really need it either. I never use this attachment. I don't know why I didn't put it in here. Okay. We're gonna start it. Sorry for your ears. It's actually okay if some of the top's open because there's a lot of steam because it's hot, so it's okay because it'll kind of escape a little. Alright, so we gave it a little pre-whirl. We're gonna put in our pumpkin. But you see now we have more headroom in our container. I probably could have used my blender for this, but I really think sauces I like to do in my food processor over my blender. Maybe it's just me. Alright, how much sage needs to go in here? Sage, 2 teaspoons chopped. I wonder why it needs to be chopped if I'm just gonna blend it up anyway. Alright, 2 teaspoons. So to chop sage easily, you can kind of roll it and then do like ribbons, like that. Does that look like 2 teaspoons? I think it does. Woo, stinks like sage in here. Now I'm over-saged. Like, there's too much sage up in this biz right now. And the beans. I don't know if this is gonna fit, man. Wish me luck, guys. Let's see if we can blend this all up. I don't know. I might be in a pickle. That's the sound of progress. Oh, it's getting thick now. All right. This is all that's got to go in here, so we're going to hope it can all mix, and then I'm going to let it just run for a bit so it gets smooth, or smoother. It's going to be kind of chunky sauce, but not too bad. If you don't want an explosion, cover with a towel. Okay, now we're going to add milk into this. So we're going to turn it on, but add milk slowly through the boiler valve. The noise is outrageous. Look how full it is. Okay. So blending things longer, I think, in a food processor is always better because you get a better texture the longer you let it blend, and I think so many people do not blend long enough, especially when you're making like hummus or something. But you can see it's kind of a little similar to like an applesauce. Like it's still got some chunky, but it's not too bad. But that's what the milk's for. Like if you want a thinner sauce, you could add more milk, but we're gonna taste it here. Holy fuck, man. That's really good. I was very worried about this recipe, I'll be honest. Me, I'm not a huge pumpkin person. You know, some girls are like all about the pumpkin everything. Me, not so much. I'm like, pumpkin, that should be reserved for pie and my pumpkin chocolate chip bread that I make, and nothing else. It doesn't belong in anything else, in my opinion. But this recipe sounded so bomb, and it's the season, so I was like, okay, I'll try it, but I'm probably gonna hate it. Oh, it's really good. I'm pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. I actually need some water. I forgot to put my vegetables here. We're gonna put some water back in this pot that we boiled that vegetable mix in. And we're gonna bring it up to a boil. Woo! We'll use my super awesome burner. Hot. So I forgot to boil this stuff. You're supposed to add this in when there's 2 minutes left on your pasta, and I forgot. So we're gonna do it now. PUBG's coming to Game Pass today, which I'm also salty about. Why are you salty about it? Drink soy milk. Is sipping on a pumpkin spice latte off camera. You will not find me drinking a pumpkin spice latte ever. Oh my god. Okay, fun story about the pumpkin spice. Everybody loves the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, so one year I was like, what is all the fuss about? Like, pumpkin in a drink? I don't know. Maybe it's good. It smells good. It looks like it could be good. So, I walk into Starbucks, I get a pumpkin spice coconut milk latte, and drink a bit of said latte. Quickly regret what's in my mouth. Like, didn't even swallow yet. It's just sitting there, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do now? Because my initial reaction was to spit it back across the room. I don't know what it is, but it tasted like I was drinking liquefied pumpkin pie, and it was horrendous. Like, I don't know how anyone drinks that. It's so disgusting. So, I, needless to say, really hate pumpkin spice latte. So, yeah, you guys are all wrong. It is not sitting behind my camera, because it is terrible. So yucky. Has to be made right, or it tastes way too much like crap. What? Can you rephrase that sentence, Myth? Did that just do a thing? I think it just exploded. I get one of them a year, like 1 pump of syrup, otherwise it is way too sweet, and almond milk. Ugh. I don't know how you drink it. What do you like about it? I guess that's what I'm curious about, because I think it's awful. Okay. Stir into pumpkin mixture. Okay, we need a big ass bowl. And I got just the one. Look at this thing. Okay, I got massive mess. Let's move some of the mess. See, Ruki, this is why I had to spend all morning cleaning my kitchen, so I could make it a disaster only an hour later. And I have to clean it before I can play COD. Okay, see if I can get this off. It's all stuck to the blade in the middle. It's everywhere! Okay, who drinks pumpkin spice lattes? I want to raise some hands. Good stuff. This is really good. It doesn't taste like pumpkin so much, to be honest. It's got like a pumpkin hint, but it has like, more than anything, I taste the cauliflower and the sage and the potato. It kind of tastes like a really good Thanksgiving mashed potato, but with vegetables. If that makes sense. We've tested by throwing against the wall. It's good. We have proof. I'm about to go out and get one right now because I can. Don't do it. Don't ask me, I have no idea. I think I just get one a year because it always sounds good and I forget how meh it is. Oh, so you forget about how you didn't like it and then you get to come back and have it again. I see. But at least I reduced the syrup to almost nothing. A grande normally has like 3 pumps, which is way too much. You do? Cupid does? Oh my gosh. I'm a white girl fabulous. Patchwork, thank you. Nope, it's you. The 2 girls in the lobby are like, ew, ew. And the guys are like, give me that pumpkin spice, baby. You guys crack me up. You enjoy your pumpkin spice latte. You know what? You enjoy it. If you want to be white girl fabulous, I ain't gonna stop you. You go do it. All right, so we're mixing that up. What else do we need to do here? Oh, we need to do the topping. Okay, so the topping is a tablespoon of nutritional yeast while we're waiting for that. So, we're actually gonna swap some stuff out. If you aren't allergic to nuts, you could do like a cashew mix on top, like chopped up cashews. But since I'm allergic to nuts, we're gonna go with nutritional yeast. So we're gonna do about 2.5 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Otherwise, you do 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast to 3 tablespoons of crushed up nuts. And this is gonna be like the topping, so it'll be like nice and crunchy. Pumpkin spice is amazing. I love pumpkin pie, but pumpkin spice in liquid form is just no. Nope, nope, nope. I will not get on board. All right, then we need garlic powder. And we're gonna just do a tiny bit, like 1/4 teaspoon. Do I have 1/4 teaspoon? This is a half, we'll just eyeball into our yeasty mixture. And then we're gonna also add fresh pepper to the top, so I'll pull it out so I don't forget, because I'm notorious for forgetting things while I'm cooking live. Can't say anything is nice eats pineapple on pizza. I love pineapple on pizza, so I'm with Cupid on that boat. Sorry, Patch. Pineapple pizza is amazing. What's wrong with pineapple on pizza? I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Patch that one, because I think it's great. You eat pineapple on pizza also? You guys are just wrong. Patch is like, you guys eat pineapple pizza, you eat pumpkin spice. Ah. Truth. Pineapple on pizza is good. I don't understand the big argument about pineapple on pizza. Like, I'd really love to know why some people will just hate it so much. So you can see this is kind of glopped up because it sat for too long. So this is where, I mean the noodles, by the way, not the sauce. This is where some of our reserved pasta water comes in. Because we can get it in here and it'll kind of loosen back up the pasta, which was sitting and kind of stuck together. This sounds really gross. She's with us on this one, yes. Yay, pineapple. It doesn't belong on pizza. You're either having a pineapple or you have a pizza. Don't mix it up. But it's so good. I mean, it's like grilled fruit or something, or cooked fruit is glorious. And if you throw it on pizza, like, what's not to like? Especially like, okay, pineapple, like red onion, that's really good together. You know what my favorite pizza ever is? You guys might think I'm crazy after this, but don't knock it till you try it. Asparagus with corn and an olive oil base with garlic and a little bit of goat cheese was like the best pizza I've ever had. And I had that at Hot Lips in Portland in the Pearl District downtown. And it was so good, so delicious. That was like the best pizza I ever had. I would eat that anytime. I'd probably eat it now. Maybe minus the goat cheese. Who would win, ninja or pirate? Pirate, they would cheat. That's probably true. I have no doubt. Okay, we're gonna set this giant mix over here for a minute, because we need to chop some more of this lovely sage of ours. So it's gonna go on the top. Am I boiling yet? Oh, I'm just about. So we're gonna do this like really thin little strips. Just like that. Little ribbons. Okay, this is boiling, so our carrots and our asparagus are gonna go in for about 2 minutes. Ow. Burning myself. I'm gonna set it for 2.5, because I think that's about what it needs. I don't like listening to this recipe, it lies. It doesn't lie, it's a good recipe. I do my own thing. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales last night. Oh, you did? So you're in like full on pirate mode? I watched Pearl Harbor last night, which I think I've had enough Aflac to keep me un-Aflac interested for quite some time. He drives me nuts. I could have done with a lot less Aflac and a lot more of Hartnett, because, yeah. Come on. Patch knows what I'm talking about. Sprouts, yes or no? Hell yes to sprouts. Sprouts are so good. Howdy, Athlon dude, how are you? Unless they sneak it into my food and I don't know about it. I'd sneak it into your food. You'd be eating sprouts and you'd be like, this is so fucking awesome. And I'd be like, haha, there's sprouts in it. When I have kids, they're going to be unknown to all the things they're eating. Like this pasta, they'd have no idea there's pumpkin in it. This is a good one to sneak pasta or pumpkin into your kids' food. They won't have any idea. More vegetables. You watched Friends? I heard you were watching Friends. Someone else likes sprouts? I love sprouts. I used to eat a lot of them on sandwiches back when I ate sandwiches. I haven't had a sandwich in ages. I miss sandwiches. But yeah, sandwiches they're really good on. I really like sprouts on top of pastas and stuff. Or like microgreens are probably my favorite thing. Microgreens go so good on top of everything. Like you put microgreens in a burrito, you can put microgreens in a salad, you can put microgreens on rice, you can put microgreens on a pasta. You can eat them on anything. You can put them on pizza with that pineapple that we're eating as well. Yeah, while you're drinking your pumpkin spice latte from hell, it'd be all good. I sent you a DM, I'm sure you already have seen it though. Oh, talking to somebody else. Okay. So I think we are done with the sage, so I'm gonna put that away. I'm just gonna clean up some of my mess while we wait on that to boil. It has 13 seconds, so I guess I'm not gonna clean up some of my mess. Just kidding. This should actually clean up really fast because the dishwasher's mostly empty. Yeah, playing the head. Playing the head. Alright. They're moving too fast. I can't get a hold of them. So, we're going to get them to chill out for a moment. We hear you. We hear you. Carrot, I want to poke you. Ow. Oh no! I've lost the toothpick. They're not done yet. They need another minute, I'd say. I knew the carrots would not be done in 2 minutes. Like, there's no way. I knew it. She burns herself every day. I do, yeah. I actually have a really nasty burn under my tattoo somewhere. I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was under there. But I burnt, like, I had a big line, like, right here for the longest time from burning myself baking bread. It was the worst burn I've had. I went to get bread out of the oven, and it's like the bread maker's, rite of passage. I went through this phase like 5 years ago, where I had to make everything from scratch. So I made bread once a week. I made a loaf of bread for like Daniel to have sandwiches and stuff. And I made focaccias, I made pizza dough, I made bagels, I made donuts, I made white sandwich bread, I made wheat sandwich bread, I made bread with nuts, I made everything. And I burnt myself so many times, but I always kept burning myself in the same spot, and it's because our oven mitts were too short. Now I have good ones. So it must have been longer than that, actually. It must have been like 7 years ago, because I think it was like 7, about the same time I got the oven mitts. So yeah, it was probably longer than that. Some burns can be so that they stay for years. When you do go into the sun, they turn red faster than the rest of your skin. I learned that as a kid. That's probably how this one is. Like if I got sunburnt, because you know I see the sun a lot, as you can tell. If I got sunburnt, I'd probably see it still, because it was one of those scars that I thought, oh yeah, I scarred my arm forever. But I haven't seen it in a long time. But also I haven't been sunburned in a long time. I didn't mean to stick that to that. Can you get off, please? Thanks. Okay. The asparagus is green. We need to put it in here. Where did my strainer go? Oh my gosh, guys. Things are not working out right now. I need my strainer. I threw it in the dishwasher because I thought I was done with it, but I'm not. Just kidding. Ugh. You know, a movie's a really fun one to watch. I just don't know why, I just thought of it. But Ratatouille. I love that movie. Ratatouille's fun. Alright, we're going to turn off the burner for obvious reasons, because we're done with it, being the big one. And then we're going to put our vegetables right into our pasta. I was really hoping there was going to be more veg than this. I kind of want to put some tomatoes in it. I think tomatoes would go good in this, but I know it's not like part of the recipe, but I feel like tomatoes would be good. I hate the sun. Kipa took me to the beach and I ended up with a second degree burn across my stomach and seriously in the hospital. I don't like being in the sun for long anymore. Did you not wear sunscreen? I'm a big sunscreen advocate. I wear sunscreen every day. I have SPF 15 on my face and my neck every single day. I have not seen that movie in a while. It's a good one. I haven't seen it in a long time either, but I really like it. You've never seen it? Oh, you should watch it. It's so cute. It's an animation. I want to say it's Pixar, isn't it? I think Pixar did it. Okay, we need dishes. Casserole. Alright, we'll see if this comes out like I'm hoping it will. So this looks a little saucier than you'd want it, and it is going to be saucier for now. When it bakes, it's going to actually soak up a lot of the sauce and be less saucy, so don't be alarmed. Because that's how casseroles work. Alright, we're going to try to evenly distribute. So I'm going to use this thing. Spaghetti. Probably should have used my small dishes because these are like monstrous. Too late now. I don't want to wash them, so it is what it is. Okay. Mix it all up. It is Pixar? Yeah, I thought it was. Pixar does some really good stuff. I really like a lot of their animated ones. WALL-E's another one I really like. WALL-E. That's a good one. Alright. These look pretty full. I don't know why Indiana Jones just got stuck in my head. Bum ba dum bum. Bum ba dum. Do 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 do. Yeah, I wore sunscreen, but unless I put factor 50 on, I burn really bad, and factor 50 isn't popular here. Oh, really? Here it's like, have a 100. I actually, I used to tan when I was young, I used to lay out in the sun a lot, and I would tan then. But now, because I don't, I just burn. I just burn. And you know, redhead complexion, we're not made for sun. I actually feel pretty physically ill if I'm like out in 100-degree weather doing anything like real activity. We're gonna put one more scoop in this one. This one looks lower than the other one. But you know, what do you think? Should I just fill them up? Should I just do 2 full ones? I kind of want to make a lunch one. Let's make one lunch one. Because then I can have a I don't want to cook day. That's a lot. That's too much. It's all stuck together. I can't get an amount I want. I have to like spread it out. Spread it out. So even though you don't see a lot of like big chunks of vegetables, like the carrots and the peas in here, or the carrots and the asparagus, it is going to be really nutrient dense and will fill you up because it is got the potatoes, the cauliflower, and the pumpkin in here too. So it's going to be more filling than it appears. So keep that in mind when you're making this. That pasta just got in a giant lump and it just buried all our good looking stuff. That's the worst when that happens. Alright. Fill those. Get rid of this. That sucks that you got burnt that bad. I think burns are the worst because you get like a feverish feeling, and I think it just is really miserable. I love 85+ degree weather. I want it to be 90+ and dry every day. Oh, I would melt. I like air conditioning. My idea of a good day is it's 75 and sunny, and that's glorious. I think I could deal with that every day. I'd be pretty happy. But 90 degrees, I feel sick. I just don't do well in the sun. I get heat exhaustion really easily. So the sun actually kind of makes me physically ill. Like, I think I'm allergic. I don't know if you can be allergic to the sun, but I feel like I am. I think Patch might be. The sun is bad. The sun is my bae. I prefer snow. I love snowy weather. I like snow a lot, but I think my preference is like 70 and sunny. And then it's like I can go do anything I want outside, and I don't have to worry about feeling sick, and I don't have to worry about getting totally fried. And yeah. All the outdoor activities await me, you know? Okay, guys. Pastas. So now, I'm gonna take your nutritional yeast mix that's got the garlic powder in here, and it's gonna kind of be a topping. And if you could have nuts, you'd put nuts on here too. But I can't, so we're not. But this is gonna give it kind of like a cheesy quality. And this is, you know, packed with B vitamins and stuff, so it's good for you too. You can be kind of generous with it, because it's going to give it that cheesy, creamy thing. And then fresh sage on top of that. And this will kind of crisp up in the oven, which will make it really nice. And then pepper. I like a lot of pepper because I don't use salt, so I put more pepper on stuff than the average bear. Ta! 2 nights of dinners and a lunch. Yes! You can have all my snow, no snow for you. You don't like it at all? I love the snow. I like snowboarding, so snow's pretty awesome. Snow is lovely. But I don't know that I'd want it all the time, but I really like the snow. We rarely get it here. If we're lucky, it snows once a year in Seattle. If we're lucky. Usually doesn't. My favorite season is autumn, fall. Best season of all. I really like autumn. What the heck just got deleted? Keep the language clean and friendly. Nightbot. What? know Nightbot had a language filter. Get wrecked, Cupid. You sure did. I don't even know what just happened. You hate the snow? Does it snow a lot in Indiana? Is it really snowy there? I've never been there. Okay, guys. This is it. Meal prepped, creamy pumpkin casserole. So when you go to make this, it is a 375 degree Fahrenheit oven, and you're going to bake it for 25 to 30 minutes. And you want to cover it when you bake it, otherwise your pasta will really get dried out. And I usually take the foil off like in the last 10 minutes so that the sage, I kind of like the top of my casseroles to be crunchy. So like the sage, if you take the foil off, the sage will crisp up and that sort of thing. And the cheese will do its thing. But that's preference. You can leave the foil on the whole time if you want. So 25 to 30 minutes in a 375 degree Fahrenheit oven, and it's ready to eat. Good to go. All right, it's time for me to clean up this mess, and then I'm gonna eat some lunch noms, and then I'm gonna play some COD. So, thanks for hanging out with me today, everybody, and thank you for the bits and the follows. You guys are all fantastic. Appreciate you spending your afternoon with me. And if you're not following here already, please hit that follow button so you can catch me live. You can also follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Red Lace Gaming. And I'm going to host somebody, so if you guys want to stick around, we can do a little raid. That'd be cool. We could do a little power-up raid. What do you guys think? You want to hashtag power-up somebody? The northern tip of Indiana gets it a lot. That's probably why you don't like it. You've been stuck in it. You're ready to be out of it. Get my pumpkin spice, and then I'll be online. Sounds good. Go get your girly frou-frou drink. Alright, who's on? We got Musty on from Power Up, and he's just moved over to Twitch, so I kind of feel like we should go Power Up raid him. What do you guys think? Are you guys down with that? To go raid Musty? Because he's new to Twitch. We should show him some love. Yeah, Musty. So let's hashtag Power Up when we get there. So I'm going to turn this off, and we're going to go raid Musty. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Bye!